Hello everyone, today I play Text Murphy Test Effect again. I will try to recreate the previous playthrough because I found out that if GOG is not running in the background, the game runs as intended as it should be. So I'm going to go for the Saffyre ending again. Here
Where
we go.
am I? Is this a dream?
Not quite, Murphy.
Then you're the big PI in the sky?
That's right, Murphy. But now is not the time for you to be here. There is a vast and malignant evil at work on the earth, and fate, for some reason that even I cannot fathom, has chosen you to oppose it.
But why me?
I'm no more thrilled about it than you are. Nevertheless, your fate has been decided.
My name's Tex Murphy. I'm a small-time private investigator in the big city of New San Francisco. My office isn't in the glamour districts. It's in the run-down, mutant part of the city, close to Coit Tower. A place they've been refurbishing for years, but it never seems to improve. Not exactly great for business, but it holds a strange attraction for me. I've cracked some pretty big cases over the years. You may even have heard of me. But I don't do much investigating anymore. These days, I'm known for being a man who gets things done, no matter what the cost. You got a job that pays? I'll do it. No questions asked. I can't really remember why I became a PI. Maybe I was drawn to the romance, adventure, and independence it offered. Or maybe because I believed in its code of honor. That a man can remain untarnished as others sink into a cesspool of lies, corruption, and greed. A man better than the world around him. But even a set of principles can slowly slip from your grasp. The world has a way of beating you into submission. Circumstances change. The guilty aren't always punished. Temptations become obsessions, and love can be violently taken, leaving it empty and hollow. Each day, innocence fades, and your character weakens. And that's not all at once, but a piece at a time until you can't be put back together again. You finally realize the only way to get ahead in this world is to make sure you're on the winning side, and then do anything you can to stay alive. I don't know why I'm so reflective tonight. Maybe I finally crossed the Rubicon, but that's not true either. I passed that sign miles back and didn't even pause to take a picture. Maybe I just feel extra guilty tonight for what I'm about to do. There was a time when I would have never agreed to do something this despicable. I can't explain why I do this, but maybe Judas would understand.
Drag him into the speeder. Look, the top window. I think we got him. Let's get out of here.
Hey, you! Over here! Finally! What was all that commotion outside anyway? Wowza! You really got a hit on the head. Remember me? Your old pal Huck? Seriously, you look clueless.
Who or what are you?
Geez, how hard did you hit your head? Well, let me reintroduce myself. I'm your Smart Alex, your personal assistant, version 1.5, fashioned 3 years ago in a factory with truly horrible working conditions you don't want to know. I'm your trusty, tech-savvy sidekick, whose primary functions include travel agent, inventory tracking and analysis, investigative advice, case notes, and I'm also a confidant and a best buddy, you gigantic oaf. Remember?
Not really.
Would you like a tutorial on my usage?
No.
You have a fax. You have a fax.
You have a fax.
Thanks. It's a note from my old friend Archie Ellis. Apparently he's out of town doing some research. When he returns, I'll need to ask him about the case we're working on.
Alright.
Well, it's another Mike and Ike Hammer candy comic, Key Lime Largo. I'll put this in my comic book rack. What on earth is this amount of cash doing in my office? If someone was trying to hire me to do something, it probably wasn't legal. I better put this away until I know exactly why it's here. Well, I sure don't remember how these holes got in the wall. They look fairly recent, judging from the debris. Who would have done this? And why?
What's in there? Oh, that's...
My indispensable water cooler still doesn't have paper cups.
Oh, really? I guess that old cutscene is somewhere else. Never mind then.
Oh man, this record's broken in two. Blue's always...
I guess luck counts for something.
I close my eyes.
It's my Gene Autry fake book. Whenever I'm feeling low, I can sing the songs of my hero.
A fake book, okay.
These are the fedoras I've collected over the years, and I take great care of them. Hey, one of these has a hole in it. How did that happen?
Old trusty sidearm. Been with me since the beginning. You want some of this, huh? Bam, bam! Hey, bam, bam, bam! Bam! Bam, bam! Bam! And you! Hey, Sonny, can you help me out? My girlfriend threw my gun out of the window. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just pick it up and, hey, don't point that thing up here. That's not a toy, you know. Oh, my hell.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Ah, the Colonel. He was my first real mentor in the PI business, and here he is giving me a helpful tip.
Because apparently you never learned the first rule of a PI. And never, ever betray your friends. Now, friendship goes beyond blood and race and politics. You gotta find out who your friends are, then you hold on to them.
I always get the chill of fear down my spine whenever I think of him. PI rules are for sissies. I've been able to achieve a certain level of success ignoring all the rules of my business. Whoa, this melted chocolate bar's been in here for a while. Chocolate always reminds me of Clint, one of the residents at Chandler Avenue.
This isn't a good time for a social call, pump. If I don't get her fixed soon, I'll go insane! Doré me paso lato!
What do you mean, go insane? Seems to me you're already there.
How do you get lost before I eat that chocolate-colored hat of yours?
The resort sounds like an upscale condo community. Definitely not something I'm interested in. Oh, my decoder ring. No messages on the vid phone. Yeah, I remember years ago, I was finishing up the latest Mike and Ike Candy Kids adventure, and I realized I devoured several chapters and it wasn't agreeing with me. I could feel my stomach churning like a volcano, and I realized I wasn't going to make it to the bathroom.
Oh, what? I'll get you, Murphy, if it's the last thing I do.
Yeah, it's kind of been a sore spot in our relationship ever since. What's up with the bed? Looks like it's for a Lothario instead of some hard-working down-on-his-luck PI. Am I going crazy here? The government footrest. Picked it up at a government warehouse sale years back, but I've never had the nerve to open it all the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe one of those days
Salsa
you will.
dancing is a Murphy family tradition. So it wasn't a horrible dream. There are gun shell casings and a shot-out window above the electronics shop. I know I'm involved, but how? I should investigate the area and then find out if anybody else heard the commotion. Chelsea's newsstand is completely abandoned. I need to find out what happened to Chelsea.
Nope, not this time.
This photo was taken from the top floor of the electronics shop. Who's over there spying on me? Whoa, it's a picture of me at my office. Someone's been spying on me from the top floor of the electronics shop. It's the Wardenclyffe Tower, a Nikola Tesla invention. I have the strangest feeling this is related to a case I was working on.
Where is he? He's up at the window. I think we got him.
Someone was shooting from the top of the electronics shop. That's an empty vial.
Alright. Might as well
Yeah,
go
looks
and
like Louis at the Bruin Stew is preparing to open up shop.
see
We should
what
go talk
Louis
to him.
knows.
Maybe he heard something.
Oh yeah, they also have this song here playing in the previous game. So nice.
I'm here to see my
Anyway.
pal Louis, but I see a pretty brunette at the counter. I have the feeling she recognizes me, but I have no idea who she is.
Well, hello, stranger.
Is Louis here?
He's in the back, getting ready to open. You're up awfully early. Want some coffee?
Yeah, that'd be great. Make it the Armageddon blend, but just a titch of...
I know how you like it. Like your women. Full of liquor.
Actually, I like my coffee like my heart.
Black?
Actually, I could use some pain killing, you know, up around this general area.
Is that blood? Ow! Oh, hush. Been out picking fights again?
I don't know what happened, but you'd look pretty incredible in a nurse's outfit.
You do, huh? You in the mood for a little role-playing? Who do you think you are? Mr. Tall, blonde, and bloodied.
Maybe I should go find Louis.
You shouldn't go drinking without me. Next time, call me and we'll get sloshed together. Ah, geez, I'm late. I got a new extension at work. I'll send it to your smart Alex. Please, go see Dr. Donahue at the North Hill Clinic. Call me after and tell me what she says about that noggin of yours. See you, Uncle Louis.
See you, Taylor.
Mr. Murphy, what are you doing here?
Mr. Murphy? Come on, Louis. What happened to Moith?
Is there something I can do for you? Because if not, I got stuff to do in the back.
Why are you acting mad at me?
You know why. You drunk again? I told you. You ain't allowed in here. You've been drinking.
Well, I don't feel drunk. It's just my brain's a little foggy.
What happened to your head?
I don't know. I woke up on the fire escape. I go into my apartment and everything is different. The street, Chelsea's newsstand, you. Everything is completely different. I mean, I don't know whether I'm tripping here or having a bad dream or something.
What's the last thing you remember before you woke up?
I don't know, but something with Chelsea.
Chelsea? What day do you think it is? No, hold on. What year do you think it is?
What year? Are you serious? It's 2043.
Oh, jeez. Look at that calendar. Over there, on the fridge.
2050. What the hell's going on here? Last night, Chelsea and I went to the Golden Pagoda. I think the wording was very, very attractive.
Oh, no!
What? It's me.
Look, somebody has stolen our car. I mean, here I am, my speeder's stolen out here. I'm sitting on a great... God, that was hot!
Oi! Would you guys like a lift to the cop shop?
No, we'll walk.
He's really just trying to do us a favor.
Chelsea, I'm getting a really bad feeling about this. It's like some sort of deja vu.
The Fabergé World Tour Portfolio, the most exotic and exquisite exhibit of the day.
Who's your mate?
Oh, that's Tex. He's having a very bad day.
That true, Tex?
Oh, no, everything's just going peachy.
Well, things could get worse, sir.
He shot me. He shot both of us. He shot me
There's nothing. Why isn't there anything? That's what I'm trying to tell you, Mike. It wasn't last night. It was 7 years ago.
What the hell is that?
Looks like you got injected with something. Maybe that's what's messing with your head. Maybe it's that goose egg. Either way, buddy, you gotta see a doctor.
You heard those gunshots? I also heard somebody got abducted, just like Chelsea and I were. Me losing my memory, that's just too much of a coincidence. I better go check them out.
I called the cops already. You want to find something, you better get a move on before they get here.
There are a couple of things I would like to ask here. Let's say this.
Yeah, those gunshots we heard have to be connected to me. I'd better get out there and investigate before the cops get here.
Mike, you really need to see a doctor. You can't drive in this condition. I'll call a cab. I'll have them wait till you're ready to go. Oh, me? I'm just the same as always. Just a little less of me than I used to be. It sure is good to have the old Mike back. I don't want to get all mushy, but I missed you, Mike. I forget. You don't remember nothing about Taylor. She works for the Bay City Mirror. Does a lot of investigations, and she's a real peach. Sweet, smart, funny. Yeah, I wasn't too happy that you and her were spending time together, but maybe she was seeing through all that tough guy stuff. She's good that way. I wish I could tell you everything you can't remember, but I don't know much. You and Chelsea went missing, and then you showed up out of nowhere a few weeks later. A couple of days after, you was gone again. I only saw you a few times after that. A couple of years went by, and then you came back, and something bad had happened to you. I don't know what, but it made you hard and mean, and you just got worse. Got to where I didn't even want you around anymore. You know, I love Chelsea like she was my own daughter. I still miss her, even after all this time. Yeah, nice to have some fresh blood here on Chandler Avenue. Not really the kind of place I do a lot of shopping at, but some folks seem to like it fine. I like that Archie fella. Real friendly. Don't always understand what he's talking about, but hey, different strokes for different folks, right? Clint's done a real nice job, don't you think? Good to see the neighborhood getting fixed up. We don't get too much of that stuff around here anymore. Cops have been good about cleaning things up. I got no idea who would have been doing the shooting or getting taken. I don't got a ladder. You might want to check at the Golden Gate Hotel. They've been doing a bunch of renovations.
I can't go to the North Hill Clinic. Not now. I need to investigate the crime scene to find out what happened before the police arrive. It's a Mike and Ike Hammer Candy comic, The Sweet and Sour Lady. I'll put this in my comic book rack back at the office. It's a Mike and Ike Hammer Candy comic, Citizen Candy Cane. Another Mike and Ike Hammer, Candy Cane Confidential. Mike and Ike Hammer, Murder, My Sweet. Mike and Ike Hammer candy comic. Tootsie Rolled. Wow, this place really has been renovated. I guess that dumbbell Ardo must have come into some money. But as I walk to the counter, I suspect this place is under new management.
Welcome to the Golden Gate Hotel. How can I help you? Mr. Murphy?
Did you know Ardo, the guy who worked here before? Wonder whatever happened to that big, lovable moron.
Ardo Newpop, California State Senator. Ran on a fire safety platform.
Wow. Service around here's gotten a lot better and a lot smarter. Call me Tex.
No, thank you. The last time I tried that, you were all...
I'm a professional and should be treated as such.
For some self-righteous baloney like that. Management heard about it and I didn't get any time off for a month.
Well, I don't meet many button-activated women, although it'd be a great optional feature. What's your name?
You know very well who I am. Holly Graham. Cute, right? We tangibles just can't resist a pun.
Oh yeah, we humans love the lowest form of humor. Speaking of which, holograms are people too. I mean, what kind of a joke is that?
So you can read. It's for the hologram rights movement.
I hate to tell you this, but holograms aren't people. And I ought to know, because I've dated a few.
That's exactly what they used to say about minorities, women, and mutants. It's our turn now. I'm officially on strike.
Strikes work a little better when you're not on the job.
Civil disobedience isn't easy when your oppressors control you with a button.
Well, you go, girl. Graham.
Really? You're the last person I thought I'd hear that from. Everyone in this neighborhood's afraid of you, you know.
Afraid I might not pay my bills, maybe. Speaking of the neighborhood, maybe you could help me by telling me what's been going on around here.
Sure. Though I should warn you, I don't get out much. Oh, you know me. Just a hologram. Here to serve my tangible oppressors. Now that I know you support the hologram rights movement, I may have to reevaluate my opinion of you. I heard gunshots, and then the speeder came flying out and took off. We keep everything like that over at the Snow White warehouse. Well, it's no Golden Gate Hotel, is it? I've heard they keep a key or something to get inside the warehouse by the door. I think he came in one time with Mojo, the kid from the barbecue place. It was awkward. Taylor's my bestie, my real friend. I don't know what she's doing with you. The nicest tangible I've ever met.
I should look around the hotel lobby and see if there's anything here that could help me out. It's a key to a lockbox.
I'm pretty sure every one of your cases involves the Snow White warehouse somehow.
It's a Mike and Ike Hammer candy comic. licorice rope. What do we got here? Looks like instructions to get into the Snow White warehouse. Some familiar names on the Chandler Avenue sex offender list. Wow, is this still here? I used this to deal with a cunning criminal on my Under a Killing Moon case who had a bad case of bozophobia.
It's me, Rusty Kids, and I'm here. Mommy's come back.
I heard he had my name tattooed on his knuckles, and he wants to show me firsthand when he gets out of prison. I'm not really looking forward to that. Well, now that I have a ladder, I can get into the second floor of the electronic. Archie helped me out on my Pandora directive case where we met a charming fellow named Jackson Cross.
I'm gonna do you the favor of a lifetime. I'm gonna let you walk. But if I catch you meddling in NSA affairs one more time, I'm gonna put a bullet right in your eyeball. Is that clear? Get this pukehead out of my office. I'll be watching you, Murphy.
Man, I thought this would have ended up in the Andes Mountains. Well, that was stupid. Well, someone up here is definitely the target of attention.
It was about
That's a damn shame. This guy was working diligently to get a free sub at Inspector Burns' barbecue.
that was one whole big epic fail.
Ah. Ow. Don't shoot.
Following our first lead, and we get ourselves caught in a laser net. All in a day's work, right?
Smart Alex had a point, but I wasn't gonna let him have the satisfaction of knowing so. There was one good thing about spending hours stuck in a laser net. You got time to think. Who is this guy? Who killed him? And what kind of surveillance was he doing right across from my apartment? And what's in the metal canister? Have 7 years really passed without me remembering it? Is it related to my head injury or the injection mark on my arm?
He dead?
Well, I think you missed a hell of a party.
Party?
Yeah, you're here in time for the laser show.
I wouldn't do that. I was here to meet Carlos Maldonado. Is that you? Or him?
Look, I just stumbled onto this little nightmare, and I need to find out who this guy was and what he was doing. I'm a PI, and I assume this guy is Maldonado. My name's Murphy. Who are you?
Mason said Maldonado was a PI. Were you working with Mason too?
I'll be honest. I don't know if I was working for Mason or not. Actually, I'm having severe memory problems here, so anything you can tell me about Maldonado or Mason or what's in the cryo chamber here would be greatly appreciated.
I think I set off an alarm when I came in here. I don't usually do this kind of thing. I was just trying to help Mason. He said, come in here, find the PI, get the cryo chamber, and keep it safe.
Hey, I found that first.
Slow learner. You have to find Mason. I think he's in big trouble with bad people. I don't know why. He's a neurologist, for God's sake. But you have to promise me that if I let you go, you won't come after me, you'll find Mason.
Oh, I promise. My fingers are so frozen I can't cross them.
If your memory problems are part of all this, Mason is the only one who can help you. So you need to find him and bring him back safe just as much as I do. I'll be in contact soon.
Man, those cops are getting close, but I don't want to leave this place without a clue. I better hurry up and find something before they get here. Not even one crate of mixers. This guy was hardcore. Yeah, Tough break, hombre. This SOB's been living up here, watching my every move. Well, that might come in handy.
Strictly speaking, I would never encourage anyone to break the law, but those sirens are getting awfully close, and a life sentence for a machine can last a very long time. So move!
Someone needs to update their poster collection. Prohibition ended 100 years ago. Someone's been spying on the citizens of Chandler Avenue. Oh, I was anti-hibition myself. As I try to make my great escape down the ladder, I find two officials waiting to greet me.
Hello, boys.
Well, if it isn't Tex Murphy, what were you doing in there?
Well, it's a little hard to
Oh, you know the drill.
I was really trying to get my hands on that surveillance equipment. Maybe I could see exactly what happened to me. Now the only way I'll find it is if New San Francisco's finest decides to play ball with me. I don't know why they'd start now, but I'd better polish up on the old Murphy charm.
Whether you're a mutant or a norm, San Francisco is our home. Be a part of the solution to crime. If you see something suspicious, please report it to the SFPD immediately.
Make it quick, Murphy. I got about a million things to do. And wasting time on you ain't one of them.
Didn't take you long to get in trouble, did it? You here to turn yourself in?
Danwich? I hardly recognized you. What, been 10 years? You were still a patrolman back then.
I'm surprised you remember me.
I may not have told anyone this before, but you're actually my favorite patrolman.
In case you didn't get the memo, I head up the department now. And things aren't as loosey-goosey as they were under Malden.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Malden did like his goosies a little loosey. So why is it you think I came down here to turn myself in?
Well, we just found you at a crime scene with a dead body. That dead body happens to be Carlos Maldonado, a PI working in the same neighborhood as you. Is that your way of intimidating the competition?
The name Maldonado means nothing to me. And I insist that you give me a polygraph test to prove it.
I was just reviewing your file when you came in.
Is that a lot? Because it looks like a lot.
August 2047. Beek Nariz, NSFPD informant. Beaten and hospitalized after providing information about Tex Murphy. Nariz refuses to identify his assailant. No charges ever filed. November 2048. Surveillance video shows suspected extortionist Jen Lee leaving the Golden Pagoda with Tex Murphy, never to be seen again. The case remains unsolved. Shall I go on? In the past few years, you've gained quite a reputation for yourself. You've got New San Francisco's criminal underbelly running scared.
I can honestly say that I have absolutely no memory of any of these crimes. I mean, I'll take a polygraph test if you want.
We arrest criminals so they could be tried in a court of law. We don't just kill them, and I won't tolerate vigilantism. If you didn't kill Maldonado, what were you doing there?
I was awoken by gunshots. I was just trying to find out what was happening. I followed the trail and saw that Maldonado had surveillance equipment aimed at my office. I want to find out what he recorded.
Who cares what he recorded? If you're such an upstanding citizen, you've got nothing to hide, right?
right? You're not gonna check inside my toilet tank, are you?
I don't even think you're joking about that. You're free to go, Murphy. For now. Any questions? I'm not sure what to think of you, Murphy. I know Maldonado was a dirtbag, but unless it's in self-defense, killing somebody, even a dirtbag, is a crime and will be prosecuted. That whole neighborhood seems to attract more than its fair share of trouble. I have no evidence of an abduction, just a dead body and only one person of interest. It might be in your best interest if you could find out what happened. I'm not allowed to let you see it. As far as the coroner and the commissioner were concerned, finding Chelsea's remains in your speeder were enough to pronounce her legally dead. She's an investigative reporter at the Bay City Mirror, one of the less obnoxious ones.
That encrypted memory stick probably has some useful information on it.
Oh, great advice. If you could help me break it, then I'd be impressed. Guess I'll have to see if anyone else on the street can break it for me. Rook's the little gremlin who runs the pawn shop. I've heard that his hard shell is hiding a heart of gold, but if it was, he'd cut it out himself with a rusty soup can lid.
Murphy! Here, let me look at you. Louis told me something terrible has happened. I've been worried sick.
Since when do you care about what happens to me? Don't tell me your little Grinch heart has grown 3 sizes in the last 7 years.
Oh, Lord. Please don't tell me that lump on your head has turned you back into the pathetic, pestering P.I. I used to know. This is a nightmare.
I'm sorry, Rook. I can only imagine how hard this is for you.
It's temporary, though, right? A side effect? Please tell me you'll be changing back.
Well, one of these nights, you're going to get visited by 3 ghosts, and it's going to be very scary for you, but then we're going to have turkey and everything's going to be great.
Look, Murphy, I'll grant you have some detective skills, but it was all relentless, annoying banter and endless questions to me. Imagine my surprise when, over the past few years, you turned into someone I could actually tolerate.
So are you saying that you and I were buddy-buddy? What kind of a jackass did I turn into?
Well, you cut out all the chit-chat and became a no-nonsense customer who pays in cash. You always seem to have plenty of cash.
Hey, you sound like my ex-wife. How'd I end up with so much cash?
Well, how should I know? If I'd asked you that 2 days ago, you would have punched me in the face.
Maybe I should punch you now. Might jog both our memories.
Oh, very funny. I'll admit, Murphy, you do have a certain charm. It makes my skin crawl.
Okay, I'll cut the chit-chat. Just tell me where I come up with all this cash.
All my transactions are done in strictest confidence. That hasn't changed.
I'm having a few rough days here, Rook, and all I'm trying to do is get my memory back. I could use a little help.
Fine. Though I don't know anything that could possibly explain what's happened to you. Believe me, I'd tell you if I did. Now I suppose this is where you ask if I mind answering a few questions, but this is not for old time's sake. Next question. You became a sullen, short-tempered bully, and I miss that desperately.
Maldonado? He puts the PI in pig. I heard you two had something of a rivalry going on. Years ago, after Chelsea disappeared, you came to me looking for leads to some valuable items, among them a lost Fabergé egg. You left the street for a long time. When you returned to Chandler Avenue, you seemed like a different person, darker, more dangerous. I'm sure you know much more about that than I. Some say you know exactly what happened. I heard a commotion and saw a crazed man running willy-nilly down the street and two other men in pursuit. I knew she'd get nothing but trouble being with you. I was hoping they would tear that flop house down, and they would have too if it weren't for that meddling Clint. I went there once, never again. What with that herbal tea and incense, it's a veritable gas chamber. Oof. Such an upbeat, chipper little man. Utterly obnoxious. Why would I know anything about that? If the police confiscated it, I suggest you talk to the police about it. That's the man you think was abducted? The one I saw being chased down the street? I never heard his name before you told me. What is that? I understand you have a thing for holograms. Maybe she's just your type. A prince among men. Makes me wish I could still eat solid food. Louis' niece is an absolute delight. What she sees in you is an absolute mystery.
Now that Rook's is open, I'll bet his back gate's open too. Behind Rook's pawn shop is a dirty, ugly alcove that reminds me a lot of Rook himself. What's this? Lord knows what I could do with an anvil, but it might be useful. Yeah, I used to come back here and shoot hoops until I threw my back out.
10 seconds left. Down by 1. Murphy has the ball. He fakes. He drives. It's a 360. He's foul.
Or was it my front? It's Rook's hydropod garden. Whenever I see this, I think of Gordon Fitzpatrick from my Pandora case.
I've got anti-hydrogen pods on board, and I've got to get us as far away from Earth as possible.
Pods?
Pods. Anti-hydrogen pods.
He wasn't from around here, or even from this solar system.
Ding, 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 ding! We have a winner!
Rumor is Zach Williams, owner of the electronics shop, is tied to organized crime. Well, we've had our problems in the past. For example, the last time I was here, he shot my credit card into 1,000,000 pieces. I'm hoping he's in a little better humor today and doesn't blow my brains out, or even worse.
Okay, I don't want any trouble.
Well, that makes 2 of us. Last time I was here, you shot my credit. Literally.
Why do you keep hassling me about that? That was years ago. I paid back all those interest charges. Plus interest.
You did? Well, I must say, customer service has gotten considerably better around here.
Everyone knows what happens to people who get on your bad side. Only one reason you ever come in here. and it ain't to buy anything. You know all our stuff is junk.
Do I ever? I mean, almost no inventory, you're hardly ever open. Even I could run a business better than this.
Why you busting my chops? You know what kind of business we're running here.
Well, I'm kind of in some hot water with the police right now, and I think you could help me out.
You had something to do with what happened upstairs? I swear I have no idea what was going on. Look, I know how much you hated Maldonado, and I probably shouldn't have let him use the second floor. But he was paying cash, and he kept a low profile. So I thought it was all good. I didn't know what he was doing up there, and I didn't want to know.
Well, let's see what kind of useful information I can get out of you before I try jogging your memory.
Let's just leave me out of this, okay? Sure, Maldonado was a creep, but his money spent just the same. He said he needed to do a stakeout of the Ritz. Didn't mention any specific names. Didn't sound like a big deal, and he was offering a good chunk of change. I sell items to customers, not purchase them. I saw him bring in some cameras, so he must have been recording the surveillance. But whatever he had got confiscated by the cops. I think he's the one who came by to check in on Maldonado. Must have been a client. Don't know anything else about him. You the man, okay? We good? All I know is you ain't the same guy that came slinking in here 7 years ago. Look, I told the cops I wasn't here, which is technically true. I just parked out back when I heard the gunshots, so I just started the engine right back up and got the hell out. You live there, so I'm not gonna say a thing about it. Sorry to hear about that. Is that what turned you into Mr. Badass? That place opened up a couple of months ago. Doesn't look like my kind of joint. I do love Louie's cooking. Just don't ask what's in it and you'll be fine.
Hey, what can I do for you, Murph? Zach don't come in here a whole lot. I guess he don't like my food much. Yeah, same old ornery cuss he ever was. Don't bother me none. I guess I'm just used to it. You wouldn't remember him. He moved into the neighborhood a few years back. Not a pleasant man. I'll leave it at that. So that so-and-so was spying on you. You and I wasn't real close, so I couldn't say why he'd been doing that. I'm no good with that computer stuff, but that little fella at the barbecue joint is a whiz. I'll bet he could get you taken care of. Haven't had another food joint on the street since Francesca ran the Slice of Heaven. I thought it might cut into my business some, but not so far. Maybe we just don't have a lot of barbecue eaters around here. That Holly is a real spitfire. I don't know how I feel about the whole holograms of people too thing, but yeah, why not? I can't really talk about that. If she died the way the cops said she did, burned inside your speeder. It's just too much to think about. I keep a little hope that maybe she ain't dead at all. Or at least that maybe she died in a more peaceful way.
As I step into Inspector Burns' barbecue, I think I'm having a stroke. But no, burning toast is their special today. Behind the counter is the kid who Louis referred me to as the computer whiz.
When you come to my house, come down behind the jail. I got a sign on my door, barbecue for sale. I'm talking about my barbecue.
Welcome to Inspector Burns' barbecue. My name is Mojo. Special of the day is chili con carnage. It'll destroy your hunger as well as your taste buds. Order when you're ready.
A hammy vice, a ham, cheese, and habanero corn dog, deep fried and wrapped in bacon. Does that come with a free colonoscopy?
Hey, you're Tex Murphy.
And you're Mojo. What a shagadelic name, baby, yeah!
My real name is Mordecai Josephus.
Are you serious? Well, that's my real name, too.
No way!
Yeah, well, it's pretty close. It's actually Tiberius, James Tiberius. And my mom, she starts calling me Tibby. And, well, I had to come up with something that I could live with.
The ultimate Tex Murphy trivia. You just made my day. Look, I don't mean to geek out on you here, but you're Tex Murphy. Badass private eye. Man out of time. Always quick with a joke or his fist. What are you doing in a dump like this?
I'm guessing you haven't won any Employee of the Month awards, have you?
Nice. Classic Tex Murphy.
Well, I appreciate you feeding my ego. Now, how about my belly?
Oh, you don't want to eat here. The food really will burn your face off. Inspector Burns is a bitter, bitter man. So, what are you working on? Wait, let me guess. Some kind of case just dropped in your lap. Seems like a small-time job, but there are tons of loose ends leading in all kinds of directions, and you are blindly getting nowhere.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Take a breath there, Chief. What makes you think I'd tell you anything about the case I'm working on?
I could help you.
Well, I could use a good caterer.
You are killing me. Look, Mr. Murphy, you fancy yourself as sort of a timeless classic, a PI archetype for the ages. You know your way around a crime scene, but it's no secret that you're not so good with high-tech gadgets. That's where I come in.
Well, I think that depends on what you call high-tech. My Etch-a-Sketch skills, second to none.
You just keep them coming, don't you? So, what do you think? Is there anything I can help you with? Like Inspector Burns says, it all tastes the same when your tongue's charred. I just can't believe I got a chance to meet my idol. Sure, I can decrypt a memory stick, no problem. It may take a while, at least a day. He says he likes barbecue, so I'm not sure why he eats here. Comes in here all the time to eat, just so he can complain. He's the guy you hired to take photos of your cheating wife. You're the guy they hired to beat the crap out of the guy you catch with your wife. You think Maldonado was spying on you? Not surprising. Chelsea Bando, the Nora to your Nick. I wish I could have met her. Sorry you lost her, but man, did you ever get an attitude. Sometimes I spend hours just thinking about what kind of baby she and I would have together. Inspector Burns has tried to torch the Bruin stew at least twice. So glad Archie opened up his shop here. He's like a god at all this conspiracy stuff. Me and Archie are buds.
Another item on my to-do list today is checking out Maldonado's regular office that's on the street. The police have been here. What the hell is that?
That's a SPO pad, protecting the universe from imperfect life forms since 1967. It's like a mall cop with a 5,000 meter volt taser without a moral code. Be careful, Tex. I could get hurt.
The police have been here and set up a SPO-pad security system.
Now that's a handsome devil. Wait a minute. A rival PI? Oh man, how did this happen?
Wow, a place even sleazier than yours. And you have an animal print bedspread.
Emily? Oh man, I hope she's doing this to get through school. Both Maldonado and I appreciate subtle storytelling techniques. Maybe we could have been friends, if you were alive. Hair cream. Glad I don't need this. Motel postcards. Maldonado must make his living spying on cheating spouses. Amateur.
Hello?
Could I speak to Carlos? Tex?
Sorry, have we met?
That woman knew me, but hung up quickly when she realized I didn't know her.
We can find her. Maybe we could get some answers.
She must have visited Chandler while she was doing business with Maldonado. Maybe someone around here will recognize the photo. Larry Hammond wasn't really a mutant.
I wanted to make sure you came here alone.
Well, I hope you were more careful about being followed than I was.
Now, I have a very strong sense of self-preservation. I even brush my teeth carefully.
Yeah, it shows.
But man, he sure looked like one. What's this? It's a key to the exclusive llama club. If this woman has been doing business with Maldonado, maybe someone else on Chandler Avenue will recognize her.
Let's see, what was here? Oh, some comic or something?
Cigarettes. Yummy.
The air outside feels thick, like I'm breathing through a pair of dirty gym socks. It's a high radiation day. Most everyone will be staying inside, but I need to hunt for some work. I always like to start the day with the traditional PI breakfast. That hits the spot.
Okay then. I guess no comics. Doesn't seem like there is anything interactable.
Nice cowboy hat.
Alright then, I'm out. I think Holly will know about the follow. Oh, she's on strike.
Holly must be out on strike. I'd better come back later to talk to her.
Okay. Oh, maybe Clint is here now? Yeah.
As I ring the bell, I expect Nilo, but another familiar face pops up from behind the counter. It's Clint. Looks like he's dabbled in some home plastic surgery to cover his empty eye socket. It's amazing what you can do with a tire patch, spray paint, and crazy glue.
Ah, Mr. Murphy, will you be needing some housekeeping done? I can't remember the last time we saw you around here.
Clint? You work here now?
Oh, I guess you wouldn't remember. I heard about your blackout. I used to have those, but they were more brownouts, you know, my old chocolate addiction.
So last time I saw you, Clint, it seemed like you were pretty loco for the cocoa.
Yeah, that chocolate stand was a bad idea. But it's all good now. I actually own this place. Bought it from Nilo a few years back.
Where did Nilo end up?
You mean Nellie? He got a sex change. Yeah, I don't know. He tried to pass himself off as his long-lost twin sister for a while, but that didn't fly.
Well, you've come a long way, Clint. From living in a dumpster to owning your own dump.
But on the bright side, we've exterminated most of the roaches and reinforced the foundation after the big quake last year. And finally got real fire extinguishers, so no more painted-on safety features. We're up to a 3-star cubic zirconia rating in the Mutant Leisure blog spot now.
So how did you afford all of this? I mean, didn't you normally eat up all your profits at the chocolate stand?
It's mostly thanks to you, my #1 tenant. You pay up front, and I always throw in a little extra to make sure I keep an extra eye on your place.
Well, math isn't my strong point, but I think you're out of extra eyes.
Did anyone ever tell you that you make it hard to give good customer service?
It's come up a few times.
You're paid through the end of the year, just like every year. You hardly ever hear these days, but hey, let me get my nose out of your business. That sounded disgusting. Let's change the subject. What can I do for you? Me? I'm just living the dream. One chocolate-free day at a time. You keep being my best tenant, and I'll be your biggest fan. Deal? Look, I've had my own problems, as you know. I was in a kind of a dark place 7 years ago. Dark, bitter, sometimes nuts, raisins, or God help me, marshmallows. Maldonado? Nothing but trouble. I steer clear of that hombre. Maldonado was spying on you? Are you sure it was you? Just get the holes patched before you move out, or I will keep your security deposit. Look, I know I used to joke with you about Chelsea being in love with me, but that was just my jealousy talking. We don't need to talk about that, do we? That was a real tragedy. I know for a fact I've never seen this fox before, because if I had, she'd be my lady love. I haven't tried it. They say that the sauce will melt your eyeballs, and that's a risk I'm just not willing to take. The cops came by to ask me about that, but I wasn't here at the time. This may not be much, but it's mine, and I love it. Dumbest name ever for a shop. Nice guy, but he's got some screws loose. That guy's all mobbed up, so I keep my distance. That little gremlin's never forgiven me for stealing his newspapers and using them for blankets. Nice girl for circuits and chips. I've got to steer clear of his diner. Too many chocolate memories. That's Louie's niece, right? Tall, brunette. Oh.
Problem with vid phones is you can't call anyone from the bathroom anymore. Well, you shouldn't.
Not again. You're gonna get me fired. Or worse. That's a fine piece of humanity there. She stopped by the other day and checked out our selection. Took her about 2 seconds to realize it was all crap, so she seemed to know her stuff. That guy's a go-getter. Why don't you get him to answer these questions? I don't know what it is they're serving in there, but it sure as hell ain't barbecue.
As I made it perfectly clear, your status as a paying customer earns you a modicum of goodwill. I suggest you use it judiciously.
Sorry, you lost me at modicum. Look, answer a few questions for me and I won't kick your butt when I get my memory back.
Lovely. Oh, she may have come by here. I can't be sure. Like I always say, you can take a bum out of a dumpster, but you'll never get a dumpster out of a bum. Just smelling the fumes coming off that establishment irritates my bowels. At least he knows how to keep his mouth shut.
It's real good having you stop in more regular. How can I help you? I might have seen this lady in here not long ago. Didn't catch your name. That Clint's really come up in the wild. Though I still hide the chocolate cake when he drops by. I don't want him falling back into his, old ways.
Hey, Mr. Murphy. Still running the decryption program. You can hang with me till it's done. Shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 hours. Who's that?
Okay, well, I have pretty much everyone. No one seems to know anything. Maybe I have to check my office. Aha! There we go.
This message is for Mr. Tex Murphy. Storm clouds are brewing. Are you with White Russians or against us? A White Guard member is close. Prove your loyalty and we will reveal the truth.
What the heck was that? There must be another Tex Murphy in the phone book.
Okay, well, guess I'm gonna check here. Yep, she's back.
Hey, Tex. How's your case progressing? Yeah, I've seen this woman in here. In fact, she picked up a piece of mail that's been delivered here. I might be able to get a name or address for you. Let me see if I have an image of the envelope. Yep, got it. I'll print it out for you. The Ritz landlord? Seems like he may have a couple of screws loose, but nice enough. I think the kid who works here has a crush on me. Maybe one of these days I'll rock his little world. That crusty old perv is always coming in here trying to get a peek at my underpixels. If I could smell, I'm pretty sure he would stink. Always looks like he's up to something unsavory. Let me check. I can confirm that Mason Bowers has been a registered guest here. Sorry, Tex. I'm not allowed to give out any more information than that.
Holly sends the information about the mystery woman to my smart Alex, and I get a new location on the map. It's on the coast near Monterey. Whoever owns this place has mucho dinero. Whoa. I get in my speeder and realize I'm very wobbly and my vision's pretty fuzzy. I realize it's finally time to get this head wound checked out and some professional input on what's happened to me. And now's as good a time as any. I call a cab, and I'm on my way to the North Hill Clinic.
Where are you headed?
North Hill Clinic.
Well, I better step on it. You look like you're in pretty bad shape. Your eyes are really bloodshot.
Yeah, you should see him from this side.
Live around here?
Yeah, I do. Live the Ritz.
I've heard there's a lot of Morlocks in that area.
Morlocks?
That's what they call them. Some new, crazy type of mutant.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard rumors that they're attacking people.
On Chandler Avenue?
Just rumors. But you never know. Things could get worse, sir. Sorry. I just wanted to let you know I was packing heat up here. Didn't mean to freak you out.
Well, that's fine. It's just the last time I got a ride from someone, they shot me, so I'm a little jumpy. It's a nice gun, by the way. I used to have one just like it.
I've had this for a long time. Some idiot threw it out his window.
The head wound is painful for sure. Maybe this Dr. Donahue can help me sort things out.
Taylor warned me you might be a problem patient.
You know, you really shouldn't keep these things on the floor. Germs?
I'm just gonna assume you've got some head trauma. Let's see what's going on.
Well, you should know I've been hit in the head a lot, but it's never caused amnesia before, and I'm wondering if maybe I'm just hallucinating. Is there any way to tell?
There sure is. Yep, you're awake. So tell me what happened.
Well, I woke up a few hours ago with this goose egg on my head and an injection mark on my arm. I've got no idea how I got them. As a matter of fact, I have no idea about anything over the past 7 years.
You took a pretty good shot to the head. Enough to knock you out, maybe cause some short-term memory loss, but not for 7 years. Let's see that mark on your arm. I think we'll need to draw some blood. Everything on your form accurate?
Everything except my name, address, and billing information.
Well, I'm guessing your bloodstream's full of cholesterol and toxins, but I'm sure we'll find something else there, too. Have you ever had an implant?
Just one, but it was a long time ago. It was in my brain, so I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
Well, that injection mark concerns me, but I don't want to speculate. I would really like to keep you overnight for observation. You mind waiting around until we figure this out?
Sure, if we can get it done in 5 minutes. While we're waiting, though, could I ask you a few questions?
Let's just keep this professional, shall we? I've dealt with many cases of amnesia, but nothing exactly like this. I believe he runs a diner over on Telegraph Hill. I don't think you could do much better. And yes, I mean that the way it sounded.
After leaving North Hill, I get a cab ride back to my office. After a while, I'm feeling a little better, so I hop in my speeder and head out to the address of the mystery woman, who I hope can give me info on Mason Bowers.
Nice, this is more like it. Fun fact, this is a former vacation home for 3 James Bond villains. Goldfinger!
Baseball card? Used to collect these as a kid. Now I collect past due notices. Well, one man's trash is a PI's clue. Hello. Seems Mason was treating someone with serious facial deterioration. Hello. The 8 lost rules of etiquette. Rule number 1, a friendly greeting could open doors for you. That's interesting. Hey, smoke no more cigarettes. I hear they have a smoking deterrent system built right into the cigarette.
Hey, buddy! Do you know 1,000 people stop smoking every day by dying, you moron? Kissing you would be like licking an ashtray. Get it, dumbass? Did you know that you and I are similar? We both are certified butthead. No, don't kill me. Have mercy.
Well, the system's about as effective as other systems I've tried, but I'll keep these in case I have a smoking emergency. That might come in handy. That's a terrible place for a petri dish. That might come in handy. A remembrance of a much simpler time. Another Mike and Ike Hammer candy comic, Gumdrops and Lollipops. I'll put this in my comic book rack collection in my office. Well, one man's trash is a PI's clue. Surely, after all we've been through, you would not turn against me and turn to her. Looks like someone with the initial T was doubting Mason's allegiance. Tsunami! Nice. Now I could use that. There's just no accounting for good taste. There's a past due notice here.
You're late, you bum.
Note to self, check and make sure I made my speeder payment. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, if you know what I mean. Oh, sure, that seems impressive. But I bet you it wasn't nearly as difficult as obtaining my PI license from an entire summer of night school. Sulfuric acid. I better be careful with this. No, that's not important. Wrong form of its. Come on, people. It's a Mike and Ike Hammer candy comic, Sleep with a Swedish Fish. Put this in my comic book rack collection in my office. Oh, perfect for watching someone while they sleep. Now I could use that.
Okay, I'm missing a few. Let's see what happens with this.
Hoping to find more information about why sleazy PI Carlos Maldonado has been keeping an eye on my place leads me to a swanky beach house where I'm delighted and surprised to meet an incredibly beautiful woman inside a home medical office. Unfortunately for me, the feeling is not mutual, and she's accompanied by a very lethal friend.
Freeze. What are you doing here?
Well, we had such a charming conversation on the vidphone, I knew I had to meet you. Now I'm rethinking that.
You don't remember me, do you?
Well, I wish I did. Does that count?
We met just once, years ago. So did you really come here looking for me? Or are you here for Mason?
I'm sorry. The correct answer is C, all of the above. I came here to find you, but it's Mason I'm looking for.
Well, you'll have to make do with me. Mason isn't here.
So how do you know Mason?
In the biblical sense, I'm his wife, Ariel Bowers.
When was the last time you saw him?
Over a month ago.
No kidding. A wife like you, I'm surprised he ever leaves the house.
We've been legally separated for over a month. He has issues, erratic behavior, periods of deep depression. It got to be too much.
Psychological problems, huh? What are we talking here? He ties his shoe for an hour, or he walks into Burger Barn with dynamite in his pants?
I think it was just a reaction to stress. His work kept him away for weeks at a time.
So I heard your husband was a neurologist, like a brain surgeon or something.
Or something, yes. He worked in neurochemistry, how chemicals influence neural operations.
So who's he working for now?
Mason never talked about his work, even before we separated. But we stayed in touch. This was the longest he ever went without calling me. I got worried and came here. I found Maldonado's number and called to see if he knew anything.
Yeah, well, Maldonado's not going to be able to help us much because he's dead. Is that who you were coming to see on Chandler Avenue?
Yes, that's right. What happened to him?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm trying to find out. But the trail seems to lead through your husband, who, by the way, I believe has been abducted.
Abducted? Now I'm worried sick. What are we going to do?
Well, to start with, if you could think of anything that could help me out here to find him, that would be a big help.
I will. Feel free to look around here. I wish I could stay and help, but I'll give you my number so you can call me later. And sorry about the gun to the head thing.
Oh, it's okay. I've just got one of those faces. Probably look better with a hole in it.
I have my doubts about Ariel Bauer's motivation. She certainly seems to have an agenda which includes more than just her husband's well-being. What's she up to?
Hubba. Whew. Is it hot in here, or did my internal fan just crash?
Well, it feels like I'm being played for a sap.
Oh, come on. She's just getting ready to play the field. I'd like to bring her over for a debugging session.
Okay, enough.
You have a fax.
Well, I wonder what's on this little device. Looks like Carlos Maldonado was trying to get a hold of Mason about someone named Margaret Leonard. Maldonado was tracking down a woman named Margaret Leonard for Bowers.
Long-lasting memories are created through a process of consolidation, which is based on the formations of protein in the brain. Thus, memories, particularly painful ones, are formed by these unstable proteins, making them easily identifiable and removed with a combination of drugs and behavior therapy, ensuring memory elimination. Of course, there are those who do not believe that the benefits of memory modification outweigh the risks. They warned that eliminating memories, one could significantly alter a person's personality, their history.
So, a fancy device that wipes your memories, hmm? Useful technology. I see applications for anyone who ever went out with you or read the Twilight series.
Come on. Nothing I can use.
Whoops.
Nothing I can use.
Okay. Oh, I got this, and I got this.
Hey, it worked!
Okay. Oh,
that's interesting.
One card. Wait, did I get another one? No. Yeah, I believe there were 9. So I'm missing one. Oh, did I get this one? Was it here or here somewhere? Oh, yes, I got that. Okay then. I'm going to have to check everything again. Let's see.
Maybe try something else.
Yeah.
This frame needs 9 baseball cards.
Exactly. I got this one. I know I forget that one, or I forgot that one before in other playthroughs. Maybe here. Yeah, don't think so.
Standard groceries, and none of them look very edible. There's room for every member of the Brady family on here except Alice, and I never considered her part of the family anyway.
Oh, I never checked here. Yeah, but so.
Gross. This bowl is full of fruit. Vertical stripes make these chairs look taller than they actually are.
Okay, maybe something
Just
I
the
did
place
not
to conduct some business.
see
You need a
here.
PhD to understand any of these books.
Said there was nothing interesting here. Yeah, I guess he is correct.
Looking at medical posters always gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Aha!
Yoink.
There we go. Time for the puzzle.
Pawn Weekly may be even sadder than that Cat Weekly magazine. Lots of cash. Usually a sign of illegal activity. Looks like Bowers was interested in some Nikola Tesla artifacts from Rook's pawn shop. I better drop by the barbecue joint and see how that dweeb Mojo's doing.
Maybe he's decrypted that memory stick.
Yeah, about time, too. I need a new lead on this case.
So, your memory stick's all ready to go. Now, what do you give me for it?
How about an autograph? You have the only one.
You think I'm gonna solve your case for free just because you're my idol? No, the great Tex Murphy wouldn't lift a finger without compensation. Neither will I.
Well, I was going to offer you a very special junior detective badge.
I don't want some stupid little orphan Annie ring. I want a memento from one of your cases. Something one of a kind.
How do I know what's on the memory stick's even worth anything?
You know how your cases always have 100 loose ends and you need that one missing piece to tie it all together?
It's not always like that.
This could be that one missing piece. Mr. Murphy, you need this.
Yeah, well, I'm all out of action figures, so now what?
Do you remember that sicko who was going around with a liquid nitrogen freeze gun, shooting people and then smashing them? The press called him the Nitro Stalker. You got involved and the cops finally found him a few weeks later, smashed into 1,000,000 pieces.
Sounds like he was pretty broken up.
Everybody knows you were behind that bit of freeze-dried justice. The freeze gun was never found, and I'm betting you took it. I'll trade you the memory stick straight up for it.
All right. But please be aware that Inspector Burns' corporate will be hearing about your shoddy customer service.
Don't know.
I wonder who'd know about that stupid freeze gun around here.
We need to talk.
Oh, do we have to, really?
Yeah, trust me, you may be involved in what happened to me.
Oh, the very thought makes me giddy.
I knew you'd be pleased to hear that. But it's all tied to items of Nikola Tesla and a man named Mason Bowers.
Well, it's true. It's true I've had some very rare Tesla items in my possession from time to time, but I have never heard of this Mason Bowers.
Do you know Carlos Maldonado?
Well, of course I know that wretched swine.
Tell me how he ties into Tesla.
Well, Maldonado tried to bribe and threaten me to reveal my source of my Tesla items, but I didn't give it to him, and I won't give it to you. Do you think Maldonado was the one watching you?
I think so.
Oh, my, that could be troublesome. I need to make some inquiries. Is there anything else? Well, the freeze gun? The one you pawned that supposedly belonged to the Nitro Stalker? I believe it was purchased by one of those vigilante Morlock hunters.
O Lord, we beseech thee, give us strength,
courage,
protection. Hail, fellow countrymen. We are ready to begin our quest.
Hunting the dreadful night beast. Make haste.
Sorry, Tex, we gotta run.
Farewell, Sir Larry, Curly, and Moe. I'll be sure to tell Snow White you're gonna be late for breakfast.
Ooh, now this place is cool. A nerdy 7th grader's paradise.
Yeah, every weapon you'd ever need to be a level 85 World of Warlord chieftain. It's a key to a padlock. I see they put Rusty's zipline back in place. How convenient.
No way! A freeze gun? This is definitely your coolest case ever.
No pun intended.
With freeze guns, the puns are always intended. Are you familiar with the work of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Please, have mercy.
I'm afraid my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
I'm gonna find a way to turn you off, I swear.
You're not sending me to the cool party? Fine, I'm done.
Thank God.
Allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it is the chilling sound of your doom.
Let's just get this thing back to Mojo.
You got it, didn't you? The Nitro Stalker freeze gun. So cool. My internet group is gonna be so jealous.
Listen, kid. We kind of keep this on the down low. If the cops find out I gave this to you, I'm probably gonna lose my license.
You can count on me. And I've already forgotten what was on that memory stick. Lips are zipped.
Good enough. And, by the way, that doesn't work.
We may only get one chance, Carlos, so I wanted to go over the plan one more time. If Margaret shows up at the Ritz, call me immediately. If I'm delayed, detain her. We have to assume she won't give up the egg voluntarily, but I want to talk to her first. You know why I've given you the cryo chamber, but that has to be the very last resort. And if anything happens to me, I'll need you to contact a friend of mine. Keep it safe until I retrieve it.
Well, it sounds like Mason and Margaret had a major disagreement. I need to locate both of them and get to the bottom of this. I decide to head back to my office to sort things out.
Hey, cowboy. Any memories coming back yet?
Not so far, but something tells me I might be missing out on some really good ones.
That's solid detective work.
So... were we dating?
Dating? Oh, that's so cute. I guess you can call it that. But we were also working together in a more professional capacity.
Well, now my detective skills are picking up a little sarcasm.
Seriously, cowboy, you're good. I've learned a lot working with you the past couple weeks.
Let me get this straight. You and I were working on a case together? Do you mind telling me about that?
Not at all. You wanted a list of tenants here at the Ritz as far back as I could go.
Why would I do that?
It was your dreams. They were vivid before, but they were getting out of control. It's almost like they were changing you into someone else. You talked about seeing things from the past, but you wouldn't give me details. You were incredibly stressed. It was like you actually believed this apartment was haunted. You even started looking into psychometry.
Psycho what?
Psychometry. It's the belief that an object can contain a person's energy or memories.
So, Not only am I an amnesiac, but I'm a paranormal idiot.
Great. Sounds crazy, I know. But then we found out about Donnelly.
Who?
J.T. Donnelly. It was the most bizarre thing. I'd heard you mention the name in your sleep. But then, his name turned up when I checked out the previous tenants.
So who is this guy?
He's a private investigator, a real old school brute. He worked for some powerful, influential people, but then he disappeared around 1943. His last known address was here.
San Francisco.
No, here, at the Ritz in this exact apartment.
Okay, that's a little bizarre.
It gets bizarrier. You called me one night, raving like a lunatic, saying the walls were talking. I rushed over and found holes smashed in the wall, and you curled up on the floor in a ball.
Well, I'm glad to hear I haven't changed that much.
You wouldn't tell me what had happened. But after that, you wouldn't sleep here. That's when you got your new place and started to sleep there.
Hold on. I have another place?
Yes, you do. And it's even nicer than here.
This is all crazy. I think I'm gonna sleep here tonight just to see whether it affects me in the same way.
Do you want some company?
Listen, Taylor, I'm beginning to see what the other me saw in you. But in my head, it's still 2043. I've got to tell you, there was somebody else.
Chelsea, I know. I know how much she meant to you, Tex. Losing her was traumatic as hell for you. But she's gone. And there's nothing you can say or do or don't do that's gonna bring her back. Do you feel that?
I sure do.
I'm alive. And that's my heart. It's yours if you want it. And it comes with all the other bits.
Well, if you know about Chelsea, then you must know about my ex, Sylvia. And Sylvia believed the way to a man's heart was right through his sternum.
I don't think you mentioned that.
Well, it's true. And if Chelsea is really gone, then that means it's another time that I get hurt by hooking myself to a woman. So, Taylor, you are a great dame. But I'm telling you right now, it's no dice. Maybe later.
Okay.
6 hours later, the rain was finally letting up. There's just too much going on here for me to do anything other than find out why my memory is lost and what happened to me over the last 7 years. Someone took part of my life, and I want to find out why.
You have a fax. You have a fax.
Looks like Archie's back in town. I should check out his 3 Cards to Midnight shop and see if he knows anything. Looks like Archie's back in town. I should check out his 3 Cards to Midnight. Archie Ellis is my herbal tea-loving, source for all things alien, supernatural, conspiracy theorist. Or he's just plain crazy. He ran into some trouble with the NSA on my last case. Last I knew, he was hiding out in some tropical locale with a bevy of beauties. I'm surprised he's back in town.
Hey, Murphy, how you doing? You okay? I heard you were having some kind of amnesia. You know, most alien abductees always have some sort of memory loss.
Are you still into that alien thing, Archie? I mean, isn't that just a little passé?
The truth never goes out of style, my friend. Now, I heard something about an injection and a head wound. Yowza!
You really back off, man, because I swear I will shoot the next person who tries to touch this, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. Ouch. Ooh. So, I guess you do need some catching up then. A few months ago, I moved back here from the islands and I opened up this place. And I was hoping that you and I could hang out together like old times, but you haven't been around much.
So I haven't come by with the traditional welcome back fruit basket? I have turned into a bastard.
Sounded like the same Murph to me, making jokes and putting your cigarette out in my herbal tea before I'm done with it.
So, did I happen to tell you anything about the case I'm working on?
Not yet, but you know I'm always ready to be Robin to your Batman. Without the homoerotic undertones, of course.
Sorry, Arch, but it's a package deal. If you're gonna be in this with me, you're gonna have to be in all the way.
You had me going there, Murph.
Okay, Boy Wonder, I need you to enter 2 names into the Bat computer. Mason Bowers, Margaret Leonard.
Well, I don't know about Mason Bowers, but Margaret Leonard? She's connected to one of the greatest mysteries of all time. I mean, you know who Nikola Tesla was, right?
Nikola! The cough drop?
Nikola Tesla was a genius. Probably one of the greatest geniuses ever. I mean, it was Tesla, not Marconi, who was the true inventor of the radio. He invented a Tesla coil, the AC electricity, remote control. He even pioneered cryogenics.
So are we almost to the part about Margaret Leonard?
Right. Well, Tesla died in 1943 when the FBI just swooped in and confiscated all his papers and designs. Then in about 2012, all this stuff, the Tesla cache just disappeared. And you want to know who the #1 suspect was?
Margaret Leonard.
No, an FBI agent named Charles Johansson. Now, I know they could never prove that he did it, but then he quits the FBI and joins some Tesla fanatic group called the Tesla Legacy Society, a group dedicated to making the world better through technology. And that's where he meets
Margaret Leonard.
Bingo! They fall in love, they get married. I think they even had a kid together.
So where's Margaret now?
Not a clue. Johansson died a couple years later, cancer, I think. After that, Margaret just dropped out of circulation.
So all this happened, what, 37 years ago. I mean, no one's found the Tesla cache since then?
It's one of the great mysteries, the lost inventions of Nikola Tesla.
What's the big deal with the Tesla inventions? I mean, there must be some reason they were never made.
Oh, you ever hear of a little thing called Tunguska?
Have I ever? Picked up a bad case when I was down in Mexico. That's where I learned the phrase, Baños, rapidos, ándale muchachos, vámonos!
Oh, Murph, you're too funny. You know, in 1890s, Tesla conducted an experiment and created a resonance frequency. You know, like a big vibration, and it nearly took out a whole chunk of New York City. And then in the 1900s, he began to work on what he called a teleforce beam. The press called it, a death ray, cooler name. But a few years later in Russia, remote area called Tunguska, something caused an explosion 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb.
1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb 40 years before we invented it?
But that was the last anyone ever heard of the death ray. Tesla never got funding. Instead, they made him out to be some crackpot, and he was broke for the rest of his life. Some people think the plans for it were part of the Tesla cache. Just think how much someone would pay to get their hands on that. The Tesla cache is right up there for me. Oh, and the death ray? Well, the name says it all, doesn't it? Don't know about that. He died like 40 years ago and either left the Tesla cache with Margaret Leonard or somebody else. Or he took it to the grave. I've been checking my sources, but no one's heard a thing about her in years. Donnelly's kind of a mysterious character. He was a private detective Tesla may have hired not long before he died. There's a mention of it in one of Tesla's letters. Gosh, you'd think a sidekick would be a little more helpful, huh? You know me, Murph. Always up for an adventure. As long as I don't have to go anywhere. You like my shop? Kind of like my old one, the Cosmic Connection. But I had to change the name in case, you know, the NSA and all that. And I'll never forget what you did tipping me off before that whack job NSA guy could get me. No, both aliens and ghosts can communicate through their dreams. It's a proven fact. I actually wouldn't mind forgetting a few years of my own life, mostly my teenage years. My little buddy Mojo works over there. We hang out a lot, but I can't stay there too long. Something makes my eyeballs burn. Seems nice. He's not very friendly, is he? Yeah. Oh, that's the Hollow Babe at the Golden Gate. Yeah, Mojo is warm for her form, or lack thereof, as it were. I eat at the Brew and Stew all the time.
As I leave, Archie hands me an old photograph of Margaret Leonard. Maybe someone else on Chandler will recognize her from the picture. I wonder if anyone else on Chandler Avenue has seen Margaret Leonard.
If you were looking for me earlier, I wasn't here.
Well, it's not like you're gonna just sit around here waiting for me to ask questions, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't be very realistic, would it? So what can I do for you?
You recognize the woman in this photo?
Oh, nice. I think I saw her in a playbook from 1996. Is this your girlfriend?
Not yet, but I'd like to take her out for dinner and drinks, and well, then we'd go from there.
I'm just kidding about this woman being your girlfriend. She's actually mine. No, I'm kidding again. This is Margaret Leonard. She's had a room here at the Ritz forever. She used to live here, but I haven't seen her in years. So, she may not be here anymore, but she auto-pays her rent. So it's all good.
Any chance you can get me into her apartment?
Not a chance in hell. I let her install her own security system, just like you, except hers is a real one. I can't tell you which apartment it is, but you won't get in without a passcode or a personal invitation. Maybe I could try to help you with something else. I'll bet she was something back in the day. Way back in the day. All I know about her is she's got a room here. I hardly ever see her, so I don't know when she's here and when she isn't. Can't help you with that.
Keep asking about that freeze gun for those easy points. Alright, and now I can talk with Rook.
I've been thinking, Murphy, perhaps I should confide something to you.
Oh, this should be good.
You believe Maldonado is spying on you, but it could have been someone else.
Not Margaret Leonard by any chance.
How did you know?
Do the words P.I. mean anything to you?
Margaret may be in grave danger. I've tried to contact her, but to no avail.
Gosh, if only we knew someone with some detective skills. Do you know how to get into her apartment?
No, but she may have left a clue. Some time ago, she left this in my care. It's for you.
For me?
She wanted you to have it in case anything happened. I met Margaret years ago. She was a woman of secrets. I met Margaret years ago.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was
this
a
yeah.
woman of secrets.
Same line. She was a woman of secrets.
I have an interest in Tesla collectibles, so yes, I've heard of it. And no, I don't know where you could find it.
Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. As I walk in the bathroom, I realize there's something wrong here. Something terribly wrong. Well, I think I found Margaret Leonard. Well, most of her. It's a business card for someone named Count Saint Germain. It's a business card. What's this? I wonder what Margaret kept on here.
The dream that Charles and I shared has become a nightmare. I wanted to believe, so it was easy to deceive myself, and to know that I have helped to bring it to pass is more than I can bear. I gave them everything, except for the key to it all. I must find the egg before they do. I have long suspected that Tex is a vital piece to the puzzle. His connection to Donnelly preceded the neural experiments. His coming to Chandler Avenue, a norm among mutants, to the Ritz, and even into Donnelly's same apartment. That was not coincidence. Was it fate, or something else that drew Tex here? It was right here all the time. Under our noses, Tex has found the Tesla egg. Mason believes Tex is with us and will help us against the translator. But I have my suspicions. I think we need to get the egg away from. I wish I had the courage to destroy the egg. I just can't let go of hope. With the egg gone, the threat would likely be eliminated, but so would the glorious future we envisioned. I want to try one more time, and until I know one way or the other, I'm entrusting the egg to the only person I know who would die to defend it. The one who prays.
I was working with Margaret Leonard and Mason Bowers in neural experiments? What's my connection with J.T. Donnelly and the egg found in my wall? Why would she steal it from me and entrust it to someone else? The one who prays. It's a picture of someone named Mantis. It's a picture...
Well, hello, boys.
Mr. Murphy, you need to come with us if you want to live.
Seriously?
Just kidding. What was going on in there? You know the drill.
Why do so many people around you end up dead?
Well, it's not because I killed them, if that's what you're implying. Well, at least not usually.
Did you kill Margaret Leonard?
Really? You think beheading a little old lady fits my MO?
But we keep walking in on you with all these dead bodies. You must be the unluckiest guy in the world.
Yeah, I might be. But you gotta start looking for another suspect.
I don't care why, I just want to know who.
Wait a second, how do we even know it's Margaret Leonard? I mean, maybe that's why they took the head.
Yeah, that might have worked 100 years ago, but now we've got apps for that. We've already got a positive ID.
It's kind of fun, isn't it? I mean, kind of working together, bouncing ideas, sharing information. I mean, what if I said I had some information that might help your investigation?
I'd say you were withholding evidence.
No, I said I might have something.
No, you said you had something that might help.
Yeah, oops. Look, Danwich, you seem like a stand-up guy, and I know you don't want any vigilantism, so I'll play it by the book. I think I have video that might have been shot by the guy who killed Margaret Leonard. I'm just gonna hand it to you, and hope you'll cut me some slack.
It's on your smart, Alex? Let's have it.
The guy in the video's Mason Bowers.
And this is the guy you think was abducted. The problem is there's no evidence of anyone being abducted, so I can't investigate. My hands are tied.
Well, mine, as you see, are not.
I may have seen this guy before, on some kind of surveillance video.
A surveillance video, you say?
The video could have shown you in your apartment talking to an elderly lady. There may have been another man there as well, a mutant of some kind, who might have jumped you. The elderly lady, in theory, could have appeared to have injected you when you were restrained. In the ensuing struggle, you might have been knocked out on the fire escape.
And when would Bowers have shown, hypothetically?
Right after you were knocked out, tore through the apartment in pursuit of the old lady.
So everything that I've told you matches up, and we're both looking for Mason Bowers.
Are you familiar with a program called VCT, Vehicle Compliance Tracking? All cars come with sensors that report when one is out of compliance. For example, when you have your right front headlight shot out, if you could access the VCT database, which is illegal and highly inadvisable, you would find a list of all vehicles with the right front headlight shot out. If you could provide more information on the vehicle, you can access an ID and an address from the registration.
Any chance this might have been the vehicle seen in the Maldonado surveillance video?
I gotta get back to work, Murphy. If you got questions, ask them. And then stop wasting my time with this speculative nonsense. A speeder with a broken headlight on the front passenger side? No idea what you're talking about. Don't recognize the face. Sorry. That's Margaret Leonard? I'll have to take your word for it. I know who Zach Williams is, and who his associates are. I'd advise you to keep your distance.
As soon as I got back from the new San Francisco Police Department, I had an urgent message from Rook. It seems Rook had a soft spot for Margaret and wanted to bring her some justice. He told me he had another interested party in the Tesla cache, a Count Saint Germain, who was staying at the Golden Gate Hotel. Maybe he could divulge some answers.
One hears a great deal about Tex Murphy on Chandler Avenue. To what do I owe this pleasure?
Word is you're a big fan of Nikola Tesla, or at least his stuff.
Yes. Your local pawn shop has a remarkably extensive offering of Tesla paraphernalia. Certainly the largest cache I've found this side of Belgrade.
You mind if I ask what your interest is in Tesla?
I gather you're at least somewhat familiar with the story of the Tesla cache? I believe some of the items Rook has were part of the Tesla cache, but he refuses to divulge how he obtained them. I presume from Margaret Leonard, or some third party who got them from her.
Shocking. Rook normally would cut off his right arm if he thought somebody'd buy it.
I've spent many years searching for something. My hope is to find a clue as to its whereabouts in Tesla's letters or journals. But the trail has led me here. Tell me, Mr. Murphy, do you know the name J.T. Donnelly?
Yeah. I mean, I just heard about it, but he was a PI, and he lived around here back in the 1940s.
At the Ritz, in the very room in which you now live. An intriguing connection.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting and maybe a little weird, but it's not a connection.
But it's so much more than that. Back in Donnelly's time, there was a man known as the Sleeping Prophet, Edgar Casey. He made a compelling case for the belief that most of us have lived past lives.
You're losing me.
Come now. You've said on more than one occasion that you felt as if you'd been born a century too late. A man out of time, as it were. Tell me, do you have disturbingly realistic, vivid dreams of another era?
What? You know about my dreams? I must be getting incredibly broad-minded in my old age. So what are you saying? I was J.T. Donnelly in a former life?
We could explore that possibility, but first, have eggs ever appeared in your dreams?
Oh, I love eggs, of course. Poached, over easy, scrambled. I mean, they're certainly nature's wonder food.
There are affordable accommodations in better parts of the city. Something could have been drawing you specifically to the Ritz. Don't you agree?
Yeah, cheap rent. Could you maybe help me out with these memories? Help me interpret these dreams?
If you could find this egg, or even put me on its trail again, I have certain techniques, such as regression and channeling, that could help you recall past events. And, I should add, the egg is worth a fortune, which I would gladly pay.
We talk for a few minutes longer, but I tell him I need to get back to the case. This is way beyond my comprehension. Mystical eggs? Mind regression? Past lives? It's boggling. Margaret spoke of an egg being held by a religious fanatic who prays. Was it the Tesla egg I found in the wall at the Ritz? If so, it would have been there for over 100 years. Does it have some sort of channeling power from the person who possessed it? Well, Mason Bowers is still the key. I need data for the VCT so I can find out who kidnapped him. I better start asking around.
Time for some good old-fashioned detective work. You should talk to potential witnesses and see if they know anything about the suspicious vehicle involved with the abduction.
Wow, that is crazy what happened to Margaret Leonard. Is everything okay with you and the cops?
Yeah, the cops would love to pin it on me, but I think it's all tied to a Mason Bowers who was abducted outside the Ritz a couple of nights ago. I'm just trying to find anybody who might have seen something.
Oh, well then you probably need to talk to Saffyre.
Saffyre? Sounds like some Greek oracle.
Well, I don't know if she's Greek or not, but she's definitely exotic looking. And she's one of your fellow tenants. Her door's decorated like a French nightmare, but it suits her business. So, if you hear any noises you can't identify, you might want to come back later. It's a damn shame what happened to that little lady, and I'm not crazy about what it did to her apartment either. Not a clue.
Well, this is a nice surprise.
Likewise, and may I say that the neighborhood has become more friendly and more beautiful than I remember.
Thanks, Tex. You know just what to say to please a lady.
Wow, is that what kind of contraption is that?
So, what brings New San Francisco's sexiest PI to my door? Business or pleasure?
No idea, but if I see him, I'll ask him.
What's with the humble act? Are you feeling a little down? Maybe a happy ending would cheer you up.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all anybody wants, right? I mean, and they lived happily ever after, that kind of thing?
Fine. You don't want to scratch each other's backs. But what if I don't play ball? Can we still rough and tumble?
Well, Saffyre, don't make me twist your arm.
You can't make me talk.
We can do this the hard way or the easy way.
Excuse me? Are you threatening me? Because if you are, I'd love to see you try the hard way. I'm sorry, Tex. I got carried away. I didn't mean to hurt you. At least not like that. Do you forgive me?
Not until I give you a good, firm interrogation.
I'm all yours, Mr. Murphy. Now, what would I know about that? It's not the nicest place in town, but you can't beat the price. It's a live and let live kind of place. First, I hear people running around up in your apartment. Then this speeder lands outside. I hear some man yelling and screaming outside the Ritz. Then he runs off with some other people chasing him. After a bit, he comes back and I hear him outside my window. Sounds like he's talking to himself. Then two other guys catch him, shove him into the speeder. Then I hear gunshots and the speeder takes off. It looked black, or midnight blue at first, but when the light hit it just right, I could see that it was actually close to Saffyre, which, of course, I would remember. That sweet lady used to live here. No idea who that is. Runs the electronics shop, though he's hardly ever there. That scumbag detective has been watching me for months. He's been videotaping the Ritz. But that place will literally kill you. After Clint took over ownership of the Ritz from Nilo, things got a lot better. He even removed all the bugs and hidden cameras. Rook's one of my best customers. His tastes aren't as old-fashioned as you might think. That's the guy you think got abducted? I saw him around a few times coming to see you. I thought. So spunky. And I love spunk. I only met you a couple years ago, so I don't know what you were like before. But I like what I see now. It ain't just your ass that's bad. You're a tough guy who thinks he's above the law. What girl doesn't like to get a little turned on by that kind of man? That's not my kind of store. Gets along with everybody. Makes great food. What's she got that I don't? I can tell you one thing that I've got that she doesn't.
You do know she's a he, right? With the strength of 10 ordinary men.
Closed. Yeah, this building's been a lemon for anyone who's tried to open a business here.
Hey, Tex. How's your case progressing? Not a clue. Sorry, I don't know a lot of people, except the ones that come in here. Due to my restrictive protocols, I can only confirm that Count Saint Germain is currently a guest at our hotel. You're talking about the speeder I saw take off after the shooting? What I can tell you for certain is the last 2 digits on the license plate. They were the numbers 6 and 3.
Alright, no, I think Archie doesn't know anything because he wasn't here, so no point in
Hello,
checking off
Murphy.
him.
How goes the investigation? Yes, I'm sure that Margaret's items came from the Tesla cache, though the pieces she gave me to sell weren't nearly as valuable as rumors would have you believe. I'm quite certain she was on the run from someone or something. I took care of her as much as she'd let me. I'm very sad she's gone. Interesting fellow. He was particularly interested in anything to do with Nikola Tesla. He mentioned that he stayed at the Golden Gate Hotel. The speeder that flew away after the gunshots I heard? I'm not sure what type it was, but I did notice that the interior was very unusual. It was all white.
Oh, white. Alright.
More questions? Why you gotta keep coming back with more questions? Can't help you with that. I remember her. Sweet little old lady. Used to see her around the neighborhood years ago. Don't remember the last time I saw her. Yeah, there was a speeder that took off right after the gunshots. Saw it in my rearview mirror. I got a thing for high-end speeders. This was a 48 Pandian. Sweet ride.
Whatever you need, Mythe, just ask. You got me there, Mythe. I know you was having bad dreams way back when, but I didn't hear nothing else about them after, you know, the thing with Chelsea happened. Oh, I know this little lady. Haven't seen her around in quite a while, but she used to come in pretty regular. I think she lived at the Ritz, at least for a time. She and Chelsea were real friendly. Pretty sure her name wasn't Margaret Leonard, though. At least that ain't the name she told me. Big guy? Talks like he should be on the radio. Yeah, he came in the other day. Didn't seem too impressed with my, cuisine. So this is the speeder you think took off after those gunshots and the abduction the other day. I do remember seeing a vehicle. I didn't get the license plate or nothing. I just saw it was one of them nice Pandians. The Bi-Turbo XL model.
Well, I finally gather enough data to identify the kidnapped vehicle. It's registered to a company called Cymon, and the location appears on my map. I check out Cymon with Smart Alex and find out it's some sort of doomsday cult recruiting candidates for a brave new world, and they believe this world will arrive soon. These boys take their schoolwork seriously. There's some interesting symbols written on these pillars. There's some interesting symbols written on these pillars. There's some interesting symbols written on these pillars. Unfortunately, I arrive at Cymon and set off every alarm possible. I'm missing a token that would grant me entry inside. I head back to my office to devise a new strategy when I find a fax waiting for me. Someone's been watching over my shoulder, and it's not a comforting feeling.
You have a fax. You have a fax.
Oh boy, a fax. An anonymous informant wants to meet me at Coit Tower. Every few years, someone gets the bright idea that this place should be preserved. Repairs are done for a few months, then the workers disappear when City Hall realizes what type of people really inhabit this place.
Yep, this is a great idea. Just waiting to meet some anonymous chap who still sends faxes. You know, he probably uses real bullets.
I think you need to be a little more trusting of people.
Yes, I'm plugged into the internet. The internet! And you want me to trust people?
A good point.
Hello, mate. Slade?
How? What? Weren't you in...
Locked up in San Quentin till 2260? No, not me. Good behavior.
Well, I'm glad you've turned over a new leaf. I'm a big fan of forgiving and forgetting. Mostly forgetting.
So what don't you remember?
Just the last 7 years.
So you don't remember everything after you and Chelsea got nicked? Chelsea's brother? The English woman, Juliet? Our little partnership?
Our partnership? Look, I know we just made up, but I think I'd rather lick toilets with my tongue than work with you.
Ah, but you did, Tex.
I did? Which one?
Work with me. And it paid a lot better than licking dunnies. How do you think you made all that money? These past few years have been, shall we say, mutually beneficial. But now it seems the same old Tex, the Boy Scout, is back. That's a problem.
You want to know what's wrong with the Boy Scouts? Not a darn thing.
So you've been helping us track down this precious little egg. First you say you got it, then you say Margaret Leonard stole it. Next thing I know, you turn up at Cymon tripping security alarms like some clueless amateur. What the hell was that all about?
For your information, I set those alarms off on purpose, and I don't have to tell you why.
Always got to do everything the hard way, don't you, Tex? This'll get you into say-Sam. Hope you know what you're doing. I'll give you 24 hours to find that egg. And then I'm gonna come looking for you. And you know I'll find you.
My nose has started sagging lately. Makes it hard to breathe. Now, what kind of info you looking for, huh?
This old Buick's been picked clean by the urban vultures. You can be hung over from things other than alcohol. My meeting with Slade left me shivering like I had the DTs. This guy and I were partners over the last 7 years. There's trouble in my soul and it's become as cold as ash. The further I see down the barrel, the more dangerous and diabolical my world becomes. Arthur, King of the Britons.
Welcome, friend. You are about to begin a journey to an incredible destiny. The successful candidate will become part of an elite aristocracy that will rule a universe beyond imagination. To begin your quest, please set the 7 sacred symbols in their proper place. To begin your initiation to a new destiny.
This sacred symbol has been broken into several pieces. It looks like a piece of one of those symbols. Is there a prize inside? It looks like a piece of one of those. This sacred symbol has been broken into several pieces. This sacred symbol has been broken into several. It's a magnetic resonator board. This sacred symbol has been broken into several pieces. Yeah, one summer night I took out half the windows in the neighborhood with a slingshot. Rook still hasn't forgiven me. This sacred symbol has been broken into several pieces. This sacred symbol has been broken into several pieces. This sacred symbol has been broken into several pieces.
Dear God.
might come in handy. Well, maybe I can use this lead pipe to my advantage. Well, what happened? Well, there's got to be some reason this mural was hidden. Now I could use that. Now here's something you don't see every day. I'm gonna take it. Something important must be inside here. Winner, winner. It's a Mike and I Camera Candy comic, The Case of the Root Canal. I'll put this in my comic book rack collection back in my office. Pickled egg. Table, lantern, cup, plate. Nothing interesting. Oh, 30-pound brick. Hey, no problem.
Hey, it worked!
You still got it, my friend.
Dear God.
Got it. That's a hook. It's my favorite artificial.
Ding, 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 ding! We have a winner!
Oh, I know what this is. It's a thing that does that.
And now the journey of the symbols begins. Candidates are selected for their superior intelligence and physical attributes. The Cymon elite will wield the royal authority over the dominions of Earth and beyond. The test to join Cymon is not without risks. When you cross the threshold, it is literally a journey to the underworld, where either eternal life or eternal death awaits.
This must be one of the tests of Cymon. I need to step on the platform before I can solve it.
You have passed this test. Proceed to the next chamber. The path path through the afterlife is difficult. You're required to pass a series of locations guarded by supernatural creatures.
Okay, I don't know how to reset this now. I made a mistake again. Don't want a hint, I know what to do. Seems like I can go back, but can I? It doesn't let me. Ah, I can reset it, alright. So it's something like this. There we go. Yeah. I may struggle with this one a bit more. Alright, I thought I made a mistake, but I guess not.
3 mighty pharaohs have reached the underworld and must travel across the River Nun. Each has been given his own guide, but each pharaoh objects to his guide crossing with another pharaoh, unless he himself is present. They also object to leaving their guides with the pharaoh on the other side of the river. Arrange their passage. But remember, though the boat holds 2 people, one must bring it back for the other to use.
I've always wanted to walk like an Egyptian.
highest praise is lavished upon you, the newest member of the aristocratic class. The seisan is the lotus flower, a symbol of rebirth in Egyptian mythology. You will now undergo a period of mind conditioning for the next 3 months, where thought patterns will be restructured for complete obedience to our cause. After, you will become a pure disciple of Seisan, worthy of leadership in the new order.
Alright, I'm going to save here. And I'm gonna go. So, thank you very much for watching and see you next time.